Hello, Serge here from the backyard driving range. We have a clipboard and some questions, and we got a good one here. It comes from Tom Medley. Again, we're staying with that learning the vertical swing here and learning your place in space. And he said, I'm wondering the same thing, Roger. Tell you what, why don't you try it first and let me know if it's safe or not. They're talking about having a stake in your backswing, a stick or a stake or whatever, and clipping it on the way up to learn your toe line in the backswing. And if you can swing down, I'd hit it. Right? So let me know if it's safe or not. I really think the principle sounds good, but it wouldn't be the first sound principle to blow up on somebody. I'm at least curious enough to try some experimenting with it. Very slow at first thought. All right, I'm going to say that, guys, I'm just so impressed that so many of you are really trying to get the idea now of trying to find ways that you can work your mind to sense and feel the things that you want to do in your golf swing. The first key is to understand what you want to do, and to know that in this case your toe line is important, and you want to stand up here on your toe line and then swing in the mitt and up the tree, and so you know where you want the club up here, and to find ways that you can mentally do it and physically do it. So these stakes are a physical aid to help you do it, to help you build the mental feeling of knowing your place in space. So I mean, I'm really getting excited because this is how all the great players play. They feel their way around. I think you're all getting the understanding now how if you improve through feeling. Well, I feel if I do this, this happens, and if I do that, this happens, and all the way through. And that's why, like, when you read books, as I've said a number of times, written by tour players who basically are having it ghostwritten by an author, and they speak to that author and they walk them through everything they think and feel. I mean, many times when you look at the pictures in that book and read the words that they're saying of what they feel, they don't match up. The words of what they say they feel and what the picture says are two different things, and many times they're so far out of whack, it's crazy if you really look at the pictures. But it's not wrong for them, but it might be wrong for you, because if you don't sense and feel exactly what that player feels in the way he sets up and the way he swings and things, you can't feel that. And so that's why it's very dangerous many times reading books written by tour players and professional athletes in other sports as to what they sense and what they feel, because that's what got them to do, those feelings got them to do the job. But here I'm going to show you something that I think is going to replace, that we can add to changing these even more emphasis to the sticks. And that we did for the toe line. This will teach you your toe line, and it'll teach you a lot of other issues. Okay, I'm going to put a ball there. I'm taking this out of the bag. I think if y'all can see here, there's little white sticks sticking up about 3 inches out of my bag. This is what I call my plane trainer. I invented this years and years ago because golfers back then were in coming over the top, and coming over the top, they were told to take a big turn and get the club inside. Well, the more you come inside, the more you have to come back over the top to come hit the ball. You know all about that. We've discussed it. It's in the catching mitt straight up, comes straight down. But the more you suck it inside and take a bigger turn, the more you have to come back outside to get to your aiming line on, square and solid. Right? So the more I suck it away from this aiming line, I have to come back to it. So I figured, and everybody I'm looking at giving a lesson is just absolutely just sucking the club way inside. I mean, some people just in here like this, and they got at the backswing, they got the club pointing straight back behind them at 90 degrees to this line. So I said, what can I do to stop that? Well, I invented the plane trainer back in the early 90s. And I called it the plane trainer because I felt even back then I was already considering that the swing had to be very vertical. So basically it's just a nice pliable plastic. It's got an adjustable band on the back, and you just slip it over your head and you put it across your chest. Now, when you start here like this, now look where my arms are. They're resting on it. There's no way I can suck this back inside with it. And you can see if I try to, it pulls the plane trainer out of position. So this was to teach people to swing straight back in the catcher's mitt and up. And if you make a good backswing, you see my arms will actually raise off of it. So I raise off of it, fall back down on it, and what happens when I fall back down on it? Boom, it pops my arms right back up. So if I swing this way, you can see that my arms, it's under my chest, and when I really practice swing without hitting the ball, I keep it as high as I can to really feel it on the underside of my arms. I lift it straight up, and my arms are off it. They fall back on it, and when they fall back on it, it just bounces right off and flings your arms right up over your shoulder as you go in the forward mitt and up the tree. Now, you can really hit golf balls with this. You have to find a point on your chest that you can really hit them. You have to lower it a little bit, but as long as it's lower in here, you can really find a bunch of points that you can hit a golf ball with it. Shows you a couple things. If you're tilting, it's going to point down too much. It shows you that you finished nice and level, and it can actually tell you how much you turned. Because if you're turning too much, like and making a really big swing, you can actually, the tip can get in the way, and that tip is in the back of my shoulder blade here. And that's how I finally really figured out how important it was, not just for stopping the club getting sucked inside, but to teach you the vertical swing. It can teach you to find out where your toe line is, because back when DJ went through a growth spurt, he was hitting the biggest duck hooks there was, and he was getting the club, and it was looping way inside, and I had a hard time breaking it. So one day I just said, all right, Deej, put the plane trainer on. And he came up, and he got here, and the first shot he hit with the plane trainer, he barely nicked the ball, and it rolled about 6 inches. And he looked at me and he said, Dad, I basically almost whiffed that one because the plane trainer got in the way of the ball at impact. As soon as I started thinking about that, I said, well, wow, right back there and over here. So I put the plane trainer on, and when I put it on, and I glanced down at my eyes, the plane trainer is pointing way out here when I'm over my toe line. So he put it on, made a few swings with it, took it off, found his toe line in the backswing, and started crushing them dead solid straight. So to this day, this is always a DJ's bag. If you ever go to a tournament, you'll see this sticking out of his bag. He never took it. He never takes it out. Every caddy he's ever had for the first time, they see this thing the first time they get it, and they throw it in the trunk when they get his bag, and he puts it right back in. Even when he was an amateur and in college and had to play 36 holes, carrying his own bag as much as 36 holes, and on days where they had to play 2 rounds, open U.S. amateur qualifying or whatever, he never took it out. Because this for DJ is like a neon sign blinking saying 3/4 limited turn. You swing only to the toe line. You turn only to the toe line. And so we've gone into our warehouse the other day, my brother and I, and we found we had a whole bunch of these. We've never really tried to sell them, and for a long time, for years. And so in lieu of, when I started seeing all of these issues with the sticks and everything else, I said, I got one more great thing that can help you figure it out. And the beauty about this is that I think a training aid is twice as good when you can feel it and get in some way you can touch it. So this is touching your arms, so it's going to give you the feeling of your arms lifting. They come off, you hit the ball and finish back up in the finish. And then B, or number 2, any training aid that you can actually use and truly hit a golf ball. And as I said, I have a little concerns about hitting the ball into those sticks and stuff, hitting it with those sticks in place and breaking. But you can do this all day. And this will certainly teach you your place in space and get you making a vertical swing. So you can go to the site, check it out. It's in the Surge shop, and we got a heck of a sale on it. We're selling them at a great price. We have a bunch of them, and we just want to get these out to you folks. And this is an alternative to the sticks, and it's a better alternative because it's safe, and you can hit a ball doing it. And you can also wear these things. You can also wear them to putt and hit chip shots to keep your triangle in place when you putt and chip. So it's got a lot of great uses, and we got an instruction video that goes with it. That's going to be that'll come in a virtual setting that you can log into the website and listen to it and watch it, and everything and how to use it is explained, and with the how-to, all you got to do now is go do it, and you'll start hitting it more solid, straight, and longer. And a plane trainer will help you do that, including your short game. Well, that's it for the Surge for today, and I'll be talking to y'all again soon.